If you've been feeling like your body is working against you, holding weight that you can't lose, waking up exhausted even after a full night of sleep, feeling wired but tired at the same time, there's a very good chance that cortisol is at the center of it. Not because something is wrong with you, but because your body is doing exactly what it was designed to do in a world that it was never designed for. In this video, we're going to break down what cortisol actually is, what it does inside your body when it stays elevated for too long, and why women in midlife are especially vulnerable to its effects. This is one of those foundational pieces that makes everything else start to make sense. So, cortisol is a steroid hormone that's produced by your adrenal glands. Those are two small glands that sit right on top of your kidneys. It's released in response to stress. But here's what most people don't realize. Cortisol is not the villain. It's a survival tool. In the short term, cortisol does an amazing job. When your brain perceives a threat, whether it's real or imagined, it sends a signal through a pathway called the HPA axis. That stands for hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Essentially, your brain talks to your pituitary gland, your pituitary talks to your adrenal glands, and cortisol gets released into your bloodstream within seconds. Once it's there, it gets to work fast. Your blood sugar rises to fuel your muscles, your focus sharpens, and your body essentially redirects its energy toward the threat, temporarily dialing down things like digestion and immune function because in that moment, it's not a priority. It even reduces inflammation in the short term. Your body is remarkably efficient when it thinks your life is on the line. This is a beautifully coordinated response. If you need to run from a predator or get through a difficult situation quickly, cortisol would save your life. The problem is that your nervous system can't tell the difference between being chased and being overwhelmed. A packed schedule, financial pressure, poor sleep, relationship stress, a difficult email, your body is going to respond to all of these the same way that it would respond to physical danger. And in midlife, the triggers rarely stop. When cortisol stays elevated for too long, not just spiking during a hard moment, but sitting high day after day, your body starts sending you signals. And most women have been dismissing those signals for years because nobody connected them to stress or the danger of having high cortisol. The belly fat that won't budge no matter what you do, that's cortisol. It's signaling your liver to keep releasing glucose into your bloodstream. And then, over time, your cells start becoming resistant to insulin. Your body essentially gets stuck in storage mode, and the abdomen is where it stores first. That wired but exhausted feeling where you're tired all day and then your mind won't turn off at night, that's cortisol too. It's closely tied to adrenaline, the hormone that keeps you alert and activated. When cortisol stays high, it keeps that alertness signal running in the background. Your brain never gets the all clear to fully wind down, which means your sleep suffers even when you're doing everything right. Not only that, but your immune system also takes a hit. Cortisol is actually anti-inflammatory in the short term, which sounds really helpful. However, chronically elevated cortisol suppresses your immune response over time, which is why prolonged stress often leads to getting sick more easily or inflammatory issues that just won't fully resolve. And the brain fog, the irritability, the feeling that you're not quite yourself, cortisol directly affects the areas of the brain that are responsible for memory, focus, and mood regulation. This is not a personality flaw or burnout. It's a measurable physiological response. None of these things really feel related when you're living them, but they often are. And once you understand the common thread, it's going to change how you approach all of it. This is where it gets really important to understand. Throughout the reproductive years, estrogen and progesterone play a buffering role in how the body responds to stress. They've been helpers. Estrogen in particular has a moderating effect on how the HPA axis, the very system that controls cortisol output, it helps to regulate how strongly your body responds to a stressor and how quickly it recovers afterward. So, as estrogen and progesterone begin to decline in perimenopause, that buffer weakens. The same stressors that your nervous system used to manage relatively smoothly now trigger a bigger cortisol response, and recovery takes longer. And because sleep is often disrupted during this transition, whether it be from night sweats, hormonal swings, or both, the body never fully gets the rest it needs to bring cortisol back into balance. There's actually another layer here too. Cortisol and progesterone compete for the same receptor sites in the body. When cortisol is chronically elevated, it can effectively block progesterone from doing its job, which contributes to symptoms like increased anxiety, disrupted sleep, and irregular cycles that many women experience before they're even in full perimenopause. And the lifestyle factors that often accumulate in midlife, the caregiving load of kids and teenagers, aging parents, the pressures of having a career, years of undersleeping and overcommitting, those compound all of this. It's not weakness. It's biology meeting a particular season of life. Understanding this isn't about having a reason to feel bad. It's about having a framework that actually matches your experience, so you can start making decisions that work with your physiology instead of against it. Cortisol isn't something to be afraid of or to eliminate. It's something to understand. And once you understand it, what drives it, what it does, and why this season of life amplifies it, you can stop blaming yourself for things that were never personal in the first place. In the next video, we're going to talk about the practical side of this, specific evidence-based strategies to support healthy cortisol rhythm without overhauling your entire life. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe so it lands right in your feed. And if this video helped you make sense of something you've been experiencing, I'd love for you to share it with someone else who might need it. The more women who understand their own physiology, the better.